This is Anaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open. Hey, yo, check it out. This is mainstream.
Never mainstream.
You're tuning in to Minds
Shades
Wide
on.
Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.
You don't know about these, Jose. These the shades of journalism, my boy.
Hey. See that?
Yes, sir. You already know what time it is, man. It's Gabe Avelli, and I'm back with another one, man. The Florida Vibe Directory, man. This is a very, very special episode, man. When I originally started doing interviews, man, this is the type of things that I wanted to do, man. Find people who are doing something similar, but, you know, break that wall down and let them know, like, yo, it's love. We're going to work together. We're going to platform each other, man. But who I got in the building with me today, man?
It's your boy Greeny from Renstu, FLA. Renstu Entertainment Co., Renstu FLA. However you want to say it, really. But it's your boy. First and foremost, thank you for having me, Gabe. This is a beautiful setup, beautiful scenery.
I appreciate y'all coming through the fuck with me, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my G.
It's your boy Fats the King, 1/3 of Renstu, FLA.
Yes, sir.
Yo, it's Trapped in Miami.
Yes, sir.
Again, 1/3 of Renstu. So we here, man. Thank you for having us.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Yes, shout out to Luke.
Yo, big shout out to my boy, the Diafica Juice, the Cool Hand Luke, man, my boy.
Luke.
Yo, so let's take the people to the beginning, man. So how did Renstu come about? But before we get there, man, how did you guys all originally link up?
All right, so
You might have to start the story from the beginning.
yeah, I'll start the story from the beginning.
Let's do it.
I'll start with how we linked up, or from the beginning. All right, so the beginning of Renstu. Bear with me because I never told a story on camera before,
all
so
good.
I don't want to ramble. I'm trying to tell a short story. 2016, Renstu started. Me and my homie Mars. We was kind of linking up. I kind of already been flirting with the idea of doing shows, sorry, it's just the mic. Doing shows, kind of getting in the scene and shit. I kind of already peeped that shows were already kind of like the wave. You know what I mean? And first and foremost, like I was trying to meet people, and really, like, the biggest thing with the shows was, like, I was like, all right, how can I meet the most people? It was like, all right, trying to meet the DJ, trying to meet the manager, trying to meet the artist. All right, so do the shows. Me and Mars are kind of already flirting with the idea of the shows already.
Mars 3 times?
Yeah, Mars 3 times. Shout out to Mars. My bad, I'm a little... Can we start over?
No, you good. Keep on.
Look at him. He nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. My bad.
Nah, you good. Can't go on about it.
My bad. Hold on.
A lot of editing, Luke.
Yeah, you have to edit me up. My bad. I'm a little nervous.
Nah, you good, Chief. Don't worry about it, man. You at your house right now, man. We cooling it. You know what I'm saying?
We at the neighbor's house, man.
That's what I was saying.
There you go.
The neighbors came to me today. You
There
feel
we
me?
go.
All right, let's do it. All right, so 2016, me and Mars meet up. At the time, I was kind of already like managing artists. I was managing my homies Josh and Chris. I had actually already been rapping myself, but I kind of already retired from rapping. At a very young age, I was like 21, 22 already.
90s.
90s, yeah, they've heard my songs, so they like to fuck around with me. But yeah,
Hilarious.
I kind of already was retired from rapping, but managing artists. I met Mars, and I was kind of flirting with the idea, like, all right, I kind of want to do shows. Really, the reason why I was trying to do shows was because, like, I really was trying to meet people. That was really the first and foremost thing. I was like trying to meet people, get on the scene, and I really kind of peeped early on two things. Like, all right, these DIY shows are like kind of the wave. Like I realized like early on, first thing I was like, all right, these are kind of the wave. These are kind of the cool things that people are going to. That everybody that wants to be involved in this scene is kind of going to. But the most important thing was that like I'm trying to meet everybody. So I was trying to meet the DJ, meet the artists, meet the managers, meet the people at the shows, meet the people, everybody. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, the person running the shows is a person who's meeting kind of everybody.
For a fact.
You know what I mean? So that was like, all right. So I kind of was like already flirting with the idea to do a show. Fast forward a couple more months, me and Mars link up. We're rocking together. We do our first little pop-up. We call it Not Another Pop-Up Shop. Like kind of based on the movie, Not Another Teen Movie. The flyer was like literally the flyer was literally the movie cover. So we kind of flipped that. Around the same time going on was the first ever Rolling Loud. Fast forward a little more, Rolling Loud happens. Me and Mars are there. We end up meeting these two homies that are still my homies to this day. Shout out Marty, shout out Sky, and they had their own stage. I don't know if you went to the first Rolling Loud, but
I heard about it though.
It was kind of a disaster. Not a disaster, but it was kind of crazy to begin with because the weather was shit.
And then they had like the curtain in between the stages, right?
Yeah. But they kind of had like an inside stage an outside stage, and then like another inside stage that was a little bit smaller. Marty and Sky were running the inside stage, was a little bit smaller. Long story short, again, it got rained out, and a lot of artists were kind of gravitating sort of inside. Mars ends up meeting Marty and Sky, inviting them to our pop-up, which is like the 2 weeks after Rolling Loud. They end up pulling up. After meeting a bunch of people at Rolling Loud, Mars, Marty and Sky, me, they come to our pop-up. 2 weeks later, again from there, we're in Mars' garage discussing how we could kind of do a show together. They were doing an app called Caster. It was like an acting app, so they were kind of trying to get their feet wet. I was trying to get my feet wet already with the shows. It just kind of was a perfect storm. We're sitting in his garage. They had met Puya at the time. I'm sure you know Puya is,
Yes.
Fat Nick, all them
Shout
boys.
out to them, man. Good guys.
And they were like, yo, we got Puya on the line. Let's do a show with Puya. I was already like, did the first show. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So we're sitting there. We decided to do this show with Puya. And they're like, what are we going to call it? At the time, another homie was there. My homie Evan. Shout out to Evan. He was our videographer at the time. He goes, we should call it Rent Party. We didn't like Rent Party. Rent Party's kind of corny. I don't remember who the fuck said it. One of us said it. Someone that was there said, yo, call it Rents Due. So we call it Rents Due. Again, we end up doing it Rents Due. The show ends up happening. Puya's there. Fat Nick is there. Simultaneously, we also end up meeting Rob Banks, Key Money at their studio. I don't know if you're familiar with Awful Records.
Yeah,
but like,
of course.
they were down here for fucking Rolling Loud. Not Father, like the main one, but like
Lord Narf.
Yeah, Narf was here. Rich Post Slim, Slug Christ.
Okay.
A lot of like members of Awful Records. It became a perfect fucking formula. We ended up doing like a banger in fucking Miami, and I ended up kind of opening my eyes. So I was like, all right,
This shit is
kind of
tangible.
lit. I kind of already knew it already because I had been to a couple of shows, but I was like, all right, and it kind of really opened my eyes. So I was like, all right, this is kind of what I want to do to keep it going.
Word.
Fast forward a little more, I ended up getting in this accident, which is why you can see my scar on my face, which is anybody ever wonders. Got into a nasty accident.
Like a car accident?
Car accident, yeah.
Damn.
Ended up like fucking running a red light, no seatbelt, smashed my face into a fucking windshield, which is why I got this nasty ass scar. I'm not gonna say like some fucking like super inspirational. I didn't wake up that day after the accident like that. But long story short, again, like I ended up being like, all right, this is what the fuck I want to do.
Right.
I'm gonna start Rents Due. I can remember calling Mars and being like, yo,
It's time.
not like it's. I'm not gonna say like it's time.
It was already happening.
But it was like, yo, like it was like this. I feel like I need to do something. Like I feel like I could have been gone to over there. Like I really need to put my foot into something, really sink my teeth into something, and really do some shit.
Right.
The events I like doing them, so that's kind of where Rents Due started. Not to keep rambling, but how I met these guys was about like last year, December.
Yeah, it was probably about a year ago.
It's actually a really funny story. I'll let Trav kind of tell the story too, but we were working together. He was actually my manager, 2 different restaurants, but he was my manager pretty much. Fats is sitting there one day, kind of pretty much complaining about work.
I was venting.
Also, you guys were all working together.
So really
We
what
were
happened?
working, he was over there.
So really what happened is I was doing management whatever for a couple restaurants down in Miami. They moved me to Dania, then they moved me to Fort Lauderdale. I ended up meeting Jose, and me and Jose kind of just got to talking about music and just certain things. And me and Fats, I've known Fats for about 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So Fats had ended up moving down here. He had some shit going on where he was at, so he came down here, and then me and Jose had already been talking. So Fats ended up coming up to where we was both working, where I was managing, he was working, and kind of introduced them, and we all kind of just like got to talking, had some drinks, and it was like, we're really trying to go in the same direction. And we just discussed what was going on, and we put a plan in place, and we discussed, an event, and we made that shit happen, and just kind of kept it rolling.
Kept it going from there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of eavesdropping in their conversation. Like I was working.
I seen him too.
But
He
I was
clearing
cool. I
tables.
was cool with him, but kind of on some shit where like we were cool, like just like on some like
Work shit.
and
Right.
it was like I recognized he was cool. He recognized I was cool. We would kind of just say what's up. We would take shots and shit. But and I would see him coming a lot. He would come in with his girlfriend, and I would just kind of see, but that day it was like before opening type shit. So we were kind of I was eavesdropping, and I hear him kind of saying like I'm trying to get back in this shit, do this, that, and the third. And I don't remember how the conversation kind of transpired, but we ended up talking. I ended up telling him, like, yo, I got this shit called Rents Due. And I don't even think I really told him too many details. I think it was more of the matter was just like.
Well, he had told me about you though, and At the time, I was working at a hotel in Fort Lauderdale, 10 minutes up the street.
Okay.
Or down the street from his job. So I'm like, yeah, I'm pulling up.
I'm gonna fuck with you.
I'm getting lunch and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know,
I already know.
free drinks, free food.
I'm gonna chill with the
Come fuck
homie.
with the boy.
Amazing.
Facts.
But yeah, I just go up there one day after work, and I just get to talking. My job sucked. Oh, I hated working in a hotel. And I was just talking about the shit that we used to do. I met him 10 years ago, South Carolina, and we've been friends ever since.
Damn.
So yeah, man.
Doing the
Yeah.
music shit too, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Baltimore. So Baltimore. I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk all
Baltimore.
proper and
Baltimore.
shit. Code switching out here.
So you repping Christine Rock? That's your homie.
Listen, man, I've never seen that young lady. Shouts out to her though, 'cause she might beat my ass.
Yo,
So.
nah, she fucking me up for sure.
She's gorgeous though.
She is pretty.
Missing tooth and all.
yeah,
But she might
together.
fuck me up, and I don't need that in my life.
So all right, so y'all start chopping it up, and y'all realize y'all all on the same page. So then, when did like everything become like official, like a referee with a whistle? Like, what was the first step that you guys took after forming this new team?
Like we just dove in.
It kind of took, yeah. I mean, we kind of just dove in. At the time, I was like, I mean, once everything kind of started going, things kind of started going again with Rent Stew kind of like last year. Just to give more like a backdrop, like I relaunched the website. Like
'Cause
Rent Stew was only like always like events based, and now it's kind of a website now. The podcast, we have clothing, just to give more people. Like, we're kind of like more of like a multifaceted company now, and when I relaunched the website back in 2021, I was kind of really looking for people to kind of to join me. Fast forward to when I met them, I was still kind of getting back in the events. So we kind of just got going with the first event. I had already had something going on. I think they pretty much, I think I told Trav to come out. They came out. They helped me with that one. February came around, we did another one, and we just been rolling ever since. And now we have our own spot now. Me and him have a podcast we're about to launch that Trap produces.
That's the Meet the Neighbors show.
That's the Meet the Neighbors podcast. We already have episodes out right now, but we just we did some rebuilding, relaunching. We got a new spot right now, new location, new setup and shits like that. So yeah, we've been rocking together ever since. I mean, we did like what? We did 4 events this year.
Damn.
4 events this year. Yeah, 5
we did
events
more
this
than
year.
that.
It's probably like 6, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, we did a bunch of events this year. Shit, we got a lot planned. Like I said, Rent Stew is just to give people more insight of what Rent Stew is now. It's not just events anymore. Like I said, we have the podcast. It's really an entertainment company and a creative agency. You know, between the podcast, artist development, content.
Sure.
We're working on clothing, and the events have always been. We were talking about that off camera before. Like the events have always been the beginning. So the events are always kind of like my baby. You know what I mean? Like I love doing events, but I won't lie to you and say that we're trying to branch out to other things because because other things we're interested in. But the events will always be around. We have an artist showcase called the Safe House. We have a part we do monthly parties. We just did a Halloween party. We're trying to venture into other events. Just a bunch of different ideas. So yeah.
Oh, that's fucking fire, man.
Yep.
Now, I know that you mentioned the name. You know what I always thought the name came from was was it Friday After Next where they throw the party that they gotta like pay their rent and shit?
Yeah, the Rent Stew party.
Yeah, I always thought that's where
party.
the inspiration came from.
Nah, it really just came from, like I said, literally, like we were just sitting in like the garage, in Mars's garage, thinking like, and Evan literally said, let's call it Rent Party. And we were like, nah, we can't call it Rent Party. And I don't really remember who said it, but it was like, let's call it Rent Stew. And before, like the events used to just be called Rent Stew. Like they were just called like the Rent Stew. I've changed it now and kind of like, make event names and title names and shit now. But like it used to be called
Rent Stew,
just
the
Rent
event.
Stew. But it really came from like, I've never familiar with like Fool's Gold and like Fool's Gold Day Off and like Pay Dues Festival, like back in the days, kind of like that's really where it kind of originated from. Where we're just gonna be like, an event where just a party and like Rent Stew. So that's really where it kind of came from.
So now I wanted to ask you here, just kind of going back a little bit. In regards to what you're doing now, what were like some of like your early inspirations, like things that you seen that you were like, all right, I can do something like this?
So definitely, like I said, like just like Fool's Gold Day Off, A-Track, Fool's Gold Records. That's probably was like one of my first times seeing like a Fool's Gold Day Off, like the footage, like Fool's Gold New York, Fool's Gold South by Southwest, Fool's Gold Atlanta, like seeing those like events and seeing those parties and seeing those concerts and seeing like how he had like we'd have ASAP and he'd have Odd Future, he'd have 2 Chainz and he'd have someone from Miami, like how he would have like
A versatility.
That's how I always thought it was cool. I've always liked concerts, you know what I mean? I've always thought concerts were cool and regular tourings and regular things like that was cool, but I always wanted to do something a little bit different. And that's how and funny enough, the first one we ever did was kind of like that. So like that's how I kind of always like early inspirations, things like that. But even like cinematic, Smokers Club, Paid Dues Festival, Diplo, shit that he used to do a lot of times like that. I can't lie. I would be lying to you if I told you that Dopey and T and Rolling Loud wasn't an inspiration.
No,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Big shout out to them, bro.
Yeah,
Because they were on the shit early, bro.
Yeah. Hella early,
bro.
Hella early, and being a young dude and like seeing them do the concerts and shit, like I was like literally fascinated, like how the fuck are they getting all these dudes? And so I really learned how how the industry works, how the bookings work, and all that stuff like that. But they were definitely it was all early inspiration, you know what I mean? And plus, just just literally you were outside, like just being outside and just seeing how like 2016 to 2018, how or maybe 2019, like before the pandemic and shit, how those underground shows were rocking and how this shit was really crazy down here. Like I've told him like shit was just crazy down here.
It was a whole different time.
It was just different, and like
I can only imagine.
it was really a perfect time to get my teeth into it, you know what I mean? And I recognize that super early, and like that was really kind of inspiration behind it.
To have that foresight and
Yeah.
to see where things were going. Now, one thing that I seen from you guys that I thought was really dope is I seen you actually do like hosting videos, right? Where like an artist will do a video. Like shout out to Drew Swace and Hitman Fuego, good dudes.
Yes, shout out to them. Yes.
So I seen that like their video was on y'all page, right? So did you guys help them direct the video, or did they already like come with the video, or like how did that come about?
That video was actually shot by my homies Archive. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Miguel. A super dope video production team out of Miami. That video was funded by us, shot by us, produced by Archive, and produced by everybody involved. But that's kind of an idea. I guess a direction of where we're going right now.
That was like the original.
Yes.
Like
So yeah.
we're back with this video.
I
right?
kind of flirted with it back. Not flirted with it, but I fucked around with it last year. We're getting back to it now.
With Elvis Murray.
Yeah, he just shot one with Elvis Murray probably like a couple months ago. So that's kind of direct. That was kind of me fiddling with the direction that we're kind of going in now, which is video hosting, hosting videos, and whether it's whether it's a video that people bring to us or it's a video we shoot ourselves, it's all the same to us. Like we're looking really to just host videos and taking an artist's video, put it on our page, and help motherfuckers get views and blow that shit up. And
you guys, I love what you guys do for the community.
That's really what the platform. At the end of the day, that's really what the platform is about. Is bringing people, is having a website or a place where artists know that their music can be posted on and it can do something, and fans can also know they can come there and find some new dope shit, new fire shit. Because that's shit that I came up on. That's what we came up on. We were just talking about two dope boys and all these websites that we love.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what we're trying to recreate, but in 2022, 2023.
With like since 2016 to now, what are some changes that you've seen in regards to like promotion and social media and how like it works? Like, what's different from it then and what's different from it now?
Shit, that shit changes every day, man. First and foremost, the fucking algorithm.
Yes.
I mean, there was no algorithm. I mean,
No,
It was just
I
posts.
come from the era of MySpace bulletins. Yeah, I'm tell you how old I am.
Nah, for real though.
Nah, I'm a bulletin baby too.
Hey,
Trust
you know
me.
what I'm saying? Tumblr and all that, but yeah, it's different. It's
It's
really a
fast.
job. Yeah, because like you said, it's changing every day, but it's really a job.
Yes, I agree. One thing too that I think is more like is different from now to then is that like you'll see somebody and in person they got like all the love, but then their social media don't reflect that. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then you'll see somebody like because we get the same like
And
type
the
of
opposite.
notifications where it's like, yo, put me on an interview, bro. And they got like 13K, but then you go to their Spotify and you're like, how? Like,
Yeah.
shit don't make no
numbers
sense.
don't add up.
You know what I'm saying?
that's because a lot of people be focused on like one facet and like focusing on this or focusing on that. But I mean, to answer your question, like things have changed a lot. I mean, I remember feeling like I used to feel like just the person who was like the most popular or like the person that was doing this was the person that was kind of getting the views. But I feel like now it's like you could
Anybody
be
can
doing
get
now. It's
views.
anybody. Like you could be doing this today and like run this shit up tomorrow, and your shit could be flat tomorrow. You could run shit up for an entire week, entire month. The algorithm can change, and then you're not getting any views. I peeped you doing the three-way shit. You know what I mean? So I think like what I'm trying to segue to is like I think the most important thing from what I've been trying to learn is like just follow the algo and follow like
The trend.
You gotta stay in
trends.
what's
Yeah, like I
going
know
on.
it says like no one wants to be trendy and everyone wants to kind of build their own trends,
You
but
gotta know what's going on.
the apps are literally telling you they want you to follow their trends. You know what I mean? So like once you start following what the app is telling you to do, that's what I realized is like
That's how
has
you're
worked
gonna
the
get
best.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because it's like I feel like when you're a rapper, you're like, yo, I have to be original, this and that. But when you're like in the content game, you're like, nah, bro.
No,
like,
you just gotta
this is
think,
a lane.
yeah.
This is hot right now. I gotta do this right now.
Yeah, you have. I mean, you
And I
pretty
think-
much have to.
I think sometimes that's what can get discouraging. Also, whether you're an artist or whether you're a content creator or doing what we're doing, you know, it can get discouraging because you want to have that originality. But at the same time, with the way the internet's going, it's like
I gotta
you
do
gotta
what they
stick to
do,
the script.
but
For a fact.
do it a little.
But at the same
different.
time, there is ways to create like new content and create new waves in the content game that people are gonna see, people are gonna kind of copy and adapt to. But I also think that at some point, like you can try to maybe do a little both, like experiment a little bit. But like I do a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I hate calling it copying, but I do a lot of shit where I see something and be like, all right, well that's kind of pretty much how I should drop my interviews, or I should drop this, or I should drop that, I should do that.
Oh, people fucking with the title
It
on
gives
the
you
thing. I'm gonna do it
direction.
like that. Like, trust me.
I just started doing that. I don't know if you people like the ones we did for our reels. Like I was dropping the reels with just like some shit that I made myself, and then I started just made like a screenshot from the video. Then I realized like, all right, if I do like just a fucking actual title screen that says like Mikey Moore performing at the Safe House, that shit went the fuck
Boom.
up.
People
all
gonna
because
see
people want to be directed to what they're gonna, you know what I mean?
It's just the times that we're in. People don't
Yeah.
have time. You know what I'm saying? And also with the captions and all that, besides the voiceover or just playing a video,
Yeah.
people are on their phones in all different type of places that they can't play their phone loud, or they only got their earbuds, or they can't have their earbuds. So being able to read the captions makes it easier.
It's like even
And
if
that
I'm
probably
gonna
helps.
like this now, but I'm gonna watch it later
Yeah,
because
you-
I want to see what they said about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's different. Even though everybody's trying to be different, everybody is still kind of staying the same.
I agree. Now, this is the question that I know, all the artists want to know, man. How does an artist get on a Safe House show or just, fuck with Rent to Do period? Like, what's the best way to go about getting up with you guys?
Honestly,
Gotta be good, man.
Just the first thing is definitely be good. I might hate to say that because I think that's a given, like be good. But more importantly, I think that like a lot of people come to have messaged me or approach me and like to be like, oh, can I be on a show? But I've never really ever showed love to our platform. And I know I'm saying this, and there's probably a couple people out there who have actually showed love to us, and I maybe have never gotten back to.
We ain't talking about
I'm
y'all.
sorry about that, and I appreciate you guys. But I think the most important thing is
Pull
that
up to the
is
events.
pull up to an event. Again, I just mentioned Mikey Moore, and to bring him up again, like he posted something one time, and he was like, the best way is like, yo, pull up to the events, buy a ticket, buy a merch piece,
Support.
support.
Exactly.
Maybe clap for another artist that's not your homie.
Yes.
You know
Stay
what I mean?
after you
That's really
perform.
what we're looking for. You know what I mean? Like how we met was at one of your events. You know what I mean? Like I pulled up to see Scola and I met you. You know what I mean? Well, not met you, but whatever.
Yeah, we chopped it up.
Yeah, chopped it up.
Even
Yeah.
at I went to one of the Safe House shows that y'all had Zally out there.
Yeah.
And bruh, I remember he did this track, and like the DJ was like, "Nah, bro, we gotta bring that shit
Yeah,
back."
that was the
Like,
one.
Yeah.
Shout out DJ Andre Black.
Yes, that shit.
Andre ain't
was
gonna play it.
Run it back.
Run that back, man.
That shit was crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Like I remember too, because that was at Velvet Velour, and like
Yep.
even 12 Lin, like, hold up, like, nah, this shit hard. Like I was like, yo, this shit crazy. Like that was a great show, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Nah, and
That's what's
I
up.
want to say too, man, thank you to you guys, man, because you guys have platforming a lot of people that I personally fuck with, people that I feel deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like Scola, like 99%. Like I really
Yeah,
appreciate
facts.
what y'all doing, man, because it's like
There's
a
so
lot,
many good people out here, man.
and it's like versatility to your shows. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
for sure.
saying?
For sure.
Because people will do a show and there'll be like 20 motherfuckers and they all sound the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'd rather go to a show with 7, 6. Everybody sounds
But
different,
everybody's
but
different.
but actually really performing. You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah,
What that does is pull in a bigger crowd as well, a mixed crowd. And, if you're not on the stage, like, this is what I want to say, like, the artists that want to come out and perform, if you just pull up to the shows and be in the crowd, you're going to meet people.
Yeah.
That's
might
gonna
meet
network. It
producers.
could benefit you just from
might
being at the
meet
show,
videographers.
you know?
You might, you never know who you're
I say that shit all the time, bro.
And
Just show up.
I get it. Like I know it's
Support.
not easy to. I'm not asking people to show up to every single show. You know what I mean? Like, but come to the show, meet us. We are gonna. I mean, to answer your question more, we are about to open a submission email where we can have artists send us emails and we can kind of dive through the music and divvy through the music because we be linking up and. Fats is our DJ and he's spinning and we just vibe sometimes, get drunk and just play music. But pull up to the show. Introduce yourself to me. Introduce yourself to Fats. Introduce yourself to Travis. Meet us. And that's kind of the best way to be on the show because if I know you, I mean, I'm more inclined to be like, all right, I fuck with Gabe. You know, I fuck with so because I met you as a person. I know you're genuine. Mm-hmm. You know, even if I think the music might not necessarily be there, at the end of the day, I know, you know,
the energy is there. And the love is there.
I know we're a music platform, and we definitely are product first. And if your music isn't there, I mean,
it might not be this show, but it could be this show.
Yeah,
you know, it depends on the lineup
exactly.
Put together.
There's people who we threw on shows recently who I've known for years, and there's people who have thrown on 5 shows, 6 shows, like Zali, like Tunde, like, you know, people like that who I've been fucking with for a long time. Mm-hmm. There's people who I've known for a long time who have just gone on a show. It's just the way it works sometimes, you know what I mean? But like, if you come to a show and you come with us and you show us love, I guarantee the love will be reciprocated from us.
Have you ever had to deal with a situation where like a personal friend, like somebody you grew up with that you really fuck with, like, yo, put me on the show, bro, but they're like not active, so it's like, you know, you can't really put them on the show? Like, you ever dealt with something like that?
I have a lot of homies that rap, and a lot of homies that make music. We all do, but we've talked about it. I think it's a situation where, you know, like, just because you're my homie for a long time, I don't think that you should look at me as I'm inclined to put you on my show.
I agree.
You know, at the end of the day, like, we do have a musical integrity and a personal integrity and a brand integrity for our product. We're selling a product at the end of the day. We are a business, whether it's underground, whether it's whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's still a business. You know what I mean? And I just tell motherfuckers that, like, you know, just work on your shit. It is a hard conversation though to tell someone that, like, you know, that just ain't it.
Just not yet. You know what I'm saying?
But that's also the way people take it. You know what I mean? Like, some people should try to, you know, as an artist, you should try to maybe be more
criticism,
open to constructive criticism.
Exactly.
You know, because like that's
how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Everything.
That's how you learn.
Man.
But yeah, it hasn't happened. I can't put my finger on a situation. But I definitely have homies that like,
you've
you know,
had to have that conversation with.
Yeah.
So now, being a platform, this is kind of like a tricky question, but I gotta ask it. Like, where do you stand on like payola?
Oh,
like payola, like pay to play, or like
what'd you call it?
Payola.
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 I never heard anybody call it that.
Did I use the word right, Luke?
Payola?
Payola. I said payola or paoli.
You're not just being like stylistic with the word pay? I don't.
Like pay to play. Y'all never heard that before?
No, I never heard it.
I've heard cashola and I've heard pay to play. Are you just combining those?
I thought you were talking about somebody I know named Payola.
You just created something. You didn't even know it.
Hey, you might have some shit.
Payola.
You might have an industry term going with you.
Trademark. But so how do you like? Where do you stand on pay to play?
I think
you want to speak on that?
Give me your money. No, I'm playing.
We were talking about that earlier. You want to speak on that?
Nah, man. This isn't that type of party over here. I think depending on how we grow and how we move, and I think at the end of the day, maybe the safe house will probably just be just exactly what that is, the safe house.
I feel you.
You know, but as we do build and grow, when there are opportunities, because it gets to a point where people are calling you. It's going to get to a point where people start calling you.
Trust me, it's already happening.
And your schedule is booked. So now I got to make time for you. You're going to have to pay for that.
I felt that.
Just like we go other places and put in work.
Said, yeah.
And they pay for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't personal, even though people take it personal. But I guess it is personal. But it's
strictly
business.
financial.
Yeah,
For
it's
a fact.
business. You know, so.
And to be fully transparent, like we've done payola before. Like we've done payola in the past. It just not. I just don't rock with it. Like I just don't like as like it makes things more difficult than I think it has to be.
I agree.
I know coming up, and I know we could all probably just speak on this. We paid so much coming up, and then we've also been taken advantage of.
Man.
For a fact.
You know what I mean?
And there's expectations that come with it. Like there's expectations. Like I've been in situations where like people have paid to play and like the show isn't what they thought expected. Granted, I've been in situations where like I know I've dropped the ball, artists didn't show up, headliners didn't show up. I had a situation in A3C where we had like Adam 22, Young Bands, fucking Chapo. At the time it was like 2017, like when they were all popping, and pretty much Chapo didn't show up. Adam decided he wasn't going to show up, and I don't even know what the fuck happened to bands.
Damn.
But we were charging a decent amount of money to perform at A3C in Atlanta from people, and the majority of people that were paying were people from down here. So they were looking to pay to go up to Atlanta, open with Adam 22, all this shit. And that shit made us look really fucking bad. But at the end of the day, like, it was hard people understood then they like, yo, it's hard for me to give your money back. Like the money I don't have the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I'm trying to rob you. I reciprocated shows. Like I'm at that point I was willing to give, like, I'll give you 5 shows, whatever the fuck you want,
Whatever
to make you
you
feel
need.
like you equated
Got
that
your
money.
money worth.
But that's when I realized like that might have been the last pay to play I ever did, because like I realized like this shit.
So many factors that
It's
go
just too many
into
factors
man.
that I have to worry
There's a
about.
lot of room for
I'd rather
error.
just
Out
book
of your
someone.
control.
I'd rather book someone. I'd rather honestly, instead of someone paying me, I know it sounds crazy. I'd rather pay someone that I know for a fact is gonna. We're not paying people now, to be honest with you. We're not. We're doing something small, but like
at the point.
I'd rather pay someone else than to like, you know, have
Have-
someone give us money and worry about the expectations that they. Because the second that someone gives money in your hand, the expectations go through the roof. And
I
it's
agree.
like,
And on
so-
top of that too, with like the type of stuff that we do, there's so much other ways to get money.
Right.
That it's like, bro, like you could pay me to wear something.
That part.
You could pay me to wear something. You could pay me to shout you out. You could pay for
Yeah.
this. You could pay for that. That it's like,
Yeah.
bro.
And it's easier to draw those lines with whoever that person is
Mm-hmm.
because they're not, doing something that is
Is-
gray area entertainment.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And like I said, it all goes back to whether you're the business owner. It's people feel like if things don't go right, the person that pays, they're not seeing none of that. So now it just carries that negative energy onto you and what you got going
Where
on.
they just like, oh nah, them niggas
and
is
then that
scamming
word
or whatever.
carries.
That's
and that
exactly
word
what
carries.
starts.
Not even
they
understanding the
They doing
business.
this. They don't pay me. They didn't do this. Their show was whack, and that's when all this shit
Shout out.
starts happening.
Yep.
Y'all don't understand the business and how much money we done put in that we probably
Right.
not gonna get back.
No, so wait,
Right.
let's talk about that actually, because that's something very, very important, and that's something that I want to really convey to the people, because it's like, you feel me, I've done events,
That liquor ain't free.
and it's like people think that it's just like, oh, I do an event and it's just like that. Like, what are some of the unseen things, the unseen sacrifices that you guys make to put these events on that like people don't see?
Shit, I'll tell you first and foremost, we move shit, we clean shit.
Yeah.
We clean vomit at our last party.
Sheesh.
We
Just the preparation,
Just the
man.
preparation, man. The
From the
planning
flyers to the planning to-
everything. We do everything ourselves. So everything you see from Renz do is completely in house. Whether it's me
Projector.
making the flyer, whether it's him creating a playlist for the party or DJing, whether it's Travis getting our setup at the spot, making sure things are good with that, moving stuff. This motherfucker hops on ladders, puts
Hanging
nails
shit.
in, hang shit. You know what I mean?
Building,
That's the
spray
big thing is
paint.
I feel like we curate in something.
We
what
literally
do is
curate
we
everything. Like, and when I say
everything.
curate, we're not just hanging up decorations and shit like that. We're moving shit. Like, our spot is a spot that like we have to move a lot of shit around. So like we put a lot of work in, and it takes a lot of planning and a lot of, I would say it's very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when we're there and we see the final product, especially as we elevate, because every time we do something, I'll tell you one thing. The one thing about when you're so hands on. Being hands-on allows you to see, like, you like get your hands in the dirt and really see your plant kind of grow. You know what I mean? Really see that seed, see that water you're putting in that seed, and really see that shit grow into a fucking tree. You know what I mean? So we've seen our shit firsthand grow. Like, we're not paying no motherfuckers to, we do everything from move
Ain't got
stuff
no
to
party
mop the floor,
planners.
to open the door, to lock the door when we leave.
Right.
And like, we're able to see, like, all right, like, we're really fucking growing. And when you see that,
Getting off work,
that's all you really need as an entrepreneur.
going
and a
straight
business person, you know what
there
I mean?
and set up
So
Trust me, bro. People
on the
don't-
grill and
Like shit, I might have to
liquor.
bring his clothes, go in his closet, bring his clothes to the venue.
And we pay our staff.
Yeah.
Our staff, if you were
All out
serving
of our
drinks, if
pockets.
you work indoor, you doing security,
You getting
the
something.
DJ, we paying you. You know what I'm saying? So who do you think pays for that? We want to hope, we can't give you everything for free. And
I
and
agree.
Friends and fam, support
for a fact.
everybody.
Well, I'd say like one of our first couple ones is, and I'm not gonna say it was a mistake, but it was something that I think that we all could agree.
A learning
we definitely
experience.
learn from is everybody pays.
Yes.
If you're the homie, you should pay.
Just because you my homie.
You should want to pay. If everybody pays, no free drinks, no nothing, because we kind of made a mistake by doing that the first few times, because we wasn't sure like how they, just to give
I
people
already know.
incentive.
I already
You just
know.
wanted
trust
people to
me.
have a good time. and
I've been
come
there
outside.
before so many
Exactly.
times.
You
bro.
gotta just realize what the incentive of people. One thing we realized is like, what are people coming for? You know, at the end of the day, we were doing things like free entry to whatever and free drinks to whatever, and like this, that, and the third, and like we were cutting our ROI. And like really think about, all right, what we're trying to do is get incentives to people to come. But really, there's no incentive to people to come. People are coming because they're fucking with the brand,
Regardless.
You know what I mean? So they come regardless. They're not coming to get 2 free tequilas. They want 2 free tequilas. They just fucking stay home and fucking drink whatever they got. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and that's something that you have to learn. And that I give some advice to people back at home and trying to do events and get their teeth into this shit is like, just build your brand. Like, don't worry about people trying to like kind of think of little ways to get people to come. Yeah, incentivize your guests. Like, you know what I mean? You don't charge fucking $50 when everybody's charging 10. I mean, be smart, but like build your brand. Like people are gonna, if you want people to fuck with you, get them to come to fuck with you.
One thing
you know,
I saw
like,
that you guys did that was real dope is on the Eventbrite link. There's like tiers of tickets that you could get. It's like a $10 one, and then it was like a $25 one, but it comes with a shirt.
Yeah.
Like that shit was sick.
Sure,
To me.
I think
Yeah,
it was
shout
a
out,
couple
shout out,
drinks,
to, shout out,
drinks
Dopey and
and
Teen,
shit.
everybody. That's the shit that I see from people that I've always
Like,
followed. Like,
that shit is dope. You know what
Beer
I'm saying?
all night.
Well, another thing we try and do is, just be interactive with our parties. So we'll do raffles, and at the end, we want people to take home something and not just feel like, damn, I just went and blew all my money last night. I had a good ass time, but I blew all my money.
Yep.
But wake up and have something,
Something
And-
tangible to take
Exactly.
home.
Yeah.
I feel exactly what you're saying. Now I seen you guys were at the Den's recent marketplace.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So how
out
did
to
how
Den.
did that relation come about?
The Den actually fucking a shout out Alex,
Shout out
Scola
Alex, man.
from the Den. They actually did the embroidery for our first collection of basketball shorts that they're out. I mean, they're not out on the internet. They're out at our shows. They're about to drop it on the internet real soon. We're shooting a lookbook right now and trying to drop it the correct way. But he did our shorts. So that's how the relationship first came with Alex. I've known Scola for, I can't tell you where I met Scola, but I've known Scola for a little minute now. Probably before things got shut down with the pandemic. Probably for a little while, just through everything and stuff like that. But that's really how it came about. I was looking for someone to really just do embroidery. But I had been wanting to get down with Alex. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'd been wanting to meet them, and I had respected him and really
Same, bro.
fuck with them from a distance for a while. I had been
got
to
some fire.
I had been to a show when they were doing the shows at the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so shout out to the
That's
Den, man.
hard.
That's pretty much how it came about. But really because of Scola and because of the fact that we needed to do some embroidery, and Alex was the plug.
Perfect.
And that's really what happened.
Facts. So, in regards to like, 'cause I feel like we really didn't get too much into that. There was like a hiatus that you guys took, right? That like
Yeah.
Reds do took a hiatus.
Yeah, for a fact.
So, what was the reason for that hiatus?
Shit, a couple things, man. A couple things, really, to be real. The hiatus kind of started really like, I would say first and foremost the pandemic. The pandemic was definitely the biggest reason behind the hiatus. We had 2019 was actually a really big year for us. Like I had organized a tour. I did a finish your breakfast tour with Zali and a couple of homies. We went from Miami, Orlando, Tampa. We went to Tennessee, and then we
shit.
came back. It was just some shit we organized. It was really dope. And then in the summertime, I had one on my own tour that I went with my friend Matt, the fucking rapper. He goes with Matt Chris now. When we did like 13 cities on the East Coast, and then we came back in the fall and we did the Ox Wars tour, which is like Ox Wars. Anybody not familiar with it? It's like a open mic.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, Ox Wars. Man, fucking Ox Wars, man. I miss Ox Wars. Ox Wars gonna come back in some type of way, shape, or form.
Oxford actually helped a couple people like get the emotion going though, right?
Ox Wars is for the culture, bro. And Ox Wars, I don't really toot
Talk
my
about
own
it.
horn. My homies know I don't really toot my own horn, but
God.
Ox Wars created a wave, and motherfuckers know
Talk
what
about
Ox
it.
Wars did, bro.
Talk
Motherfuckers
about
know
it.
what Ox Wars
No,
did.
but
for down
now
here.
it's not like they don't call it that. Now it's music summits and
Now it's
that.
always music summits or open mics, or I've seen a bunch of different names, but
What'd you do with it though?
huh?
The Ox Wars. Where'd y'all
So
go?
Ox Wars is pretty much an open mic. It was pretty much open mic, but we just kind of just really put a different twist to it, man. We were working with Yes Jules. 1AM was sponsoring.
Literally letting people plug up
Yeah,
their
so pretty
phone.
much you just came. You came.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't plugging and playing, pretty much plugging and playing, but we made it kind of exclusive because you had to kind of show up on time, like, and that's what kind of made it really kind of dope. Was like we only had like an exclusive sign up from like 7 to like certain time, so there was really kind of a line outside type shit where motherfuckers were really like, yo, can I get in? People were offering us to pay, like people were like, yo, I'll give you 50. Like it was crazy, but like it would just show up, sign up if you got there in time, sign your name on the list. I was hosting it. Mars was running it, and Jules in her home, some people that we had, like we had guests from each city, like they were kind of doing their thing in each city, in Orlando, Miami, Tampa. Like we had Zoe Dollars in Miami.
Shout out Zoe, man.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we had Betty Dahl in Tampa. A couple other people, Pablo Vasquez from, I think his name is Vasquez. I'm sorry if I chop his name up, but he's like a dope videographer. He shoots for Big Baby Scumbag in
shout
Tampa
out
and
Big
shit.
Baby Scumbag,
So
too.
we had a couple people on the panels and shit, and pretty much it was like what I call it the best way, bro. Like the underground American Idol.
Right.
That's what it was. Like sign up.
That's hard.
You came in, you performed one song. The crowd was watching you because everybody was in the crowd waiting for people. Either they were waiting to perform or they were where people wouldn't perform. And then
Wait,
the
like,
judges
who
would
you
pretty much
offer?
give you a feedback. And then the offers, we were doing different things. Like the winner kind of like we had like a playlist of like all the people that were dope. The winner got like a show with us and stuff like that. I think we had given away like videos and shit like that, but like shoot a video and stuff like that. We didn't really give away a lot of prizes. I won't cap because that was kind of like a next step of what we kind of were trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But the ideas were huge, man. But then the pandemic came around. We had a little fallout between like people involved in the team and stuff like that. And the pandemic came around, and that's kind of when I got the idea of like the website. So like I remember being with one of my homies, Rossi and shit, and like we were fucking I kind of told him about the website, and I kind of got his idea of like how could I like drop music and like be involved and like just pretty much drop music and like still make it what Rents do. And I'd already seen Lyrical Lemonade. I'd already seen Hot. I've been around, so like I've seen the websites and stuff like that. So I was like, we kind of need a central base where like this, like people can come and the podcast is here, the shows are here, everything is here. And so I was like, all right, just make a fucking website. But then I was like, I don't want to do a website. So kind of make it more of a platform. And that's kind of why I took the break and was kind of like, all right, I kind of want to figure out how to build this website, how to make this podcast come around, how to just kind of put everything together.
Word.
That's really was the thing behind the break, the hiatus. But really the pandemic and just me trying to figure out how to rebrand and just trying to get things back together because I knew I was kind of evolving a little bit.
So you mentioned that you were working with Yes Jules. What was that like?
That was dope, man. Yes, Jules is dope. Yes, Jules is super dope, bro. Like I will say, like just to be fully transparent.
Does she have a fat ass?
Oh, you already know that's a given. That's a
Seen it
given.
live. I just seen it.
That's a given. But she's super dope, man. Shout out to her. Like I'll be fully transparent again. Like there was a fallout involved between teams, but like I don't really equate that to her. I don't really her personally. Things happen. You know what I mean? People go their separate ways. I just wish that we could have fucking kind of like kept this Oxworth thing going.
Right.
But I think it was a combination of things. Like I said, the combination between the fallout and the pandemic and just not being able to do things for a long time was just kind of like the perfect storm that made this shit kind of just like flying out. But she's dope. She's dope. Like I haven't seen her since like talked to her since like 2019. But
Shout out to Jules.
She's dope.
So the Drew Swayze Hitman video was the first video like to revamp the platform?
No, the first video was this dude light skinned Poppy that
Light skin Poppy.
yeah that I worked with. It was shot by I don't know if you're familiar with Winchos.
No.
Yeah, Winchos is from like Palm Beach, I believe.
Shout out Palm Beach making noise right now. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
hold
he's
you.
super dope.
They doing
and,
their thing.
Yeah, Winchos been around for a minute. He's like worked with members only and shit like
Broward.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
that. Yeah, so fucking Winchos shot it. It was Light Skin Poppy's song. Me and P pretty much linked up and just I was like, I like this music, and I pretty much reached out to him. I was like, yo, I'm trying to revamp this with my not revamp. I'm trying to launch this website, and I want a video to kind of come out with it. So we pretty much shot that video. It took fucking forever to get the video back, but when we finally got the video back, like we did a whole launch party around it, and the launch party pretty much consisted of him like debuting the video.
Oh, that's
we
dope.
had some technical difficulties that day, but that's what the launch party was
Right.
essentially about, and was August of last year, and that's when we pretty much came back. We've been rocking ever since. Well,
Now-
rocking back,
If you know the Rents Due platform, you know the door.
of course.
So who designed the door? How did the door come about?
That's my baby. That's my favorite art piece. The door is designed by one of my good close friends, one of my homies I went to high school with, and my fucking barber, a dope artist named Moon the Barber.
Shout out Moon.
Shout out Moon.
He goes by Moon the Barber on Instagram. He goes by Moon as an artist, but again, he's just the homie. And he designed that shit for the launch party back in August of 2021, and that was a gift. That really was a gift. I had asked him. We've been homies since we were. Shit, I'm an old man now. But
bro, we probably the same fucking age.
But well, I was back. I've been rocking Moon since we were 14. He was cutting my hair back when we were playing football in the locker room and shit. He used to cut all the football players, all the homies' hair in the locker room and
That's
shit. So
fine.
he's been cutting my hair at least 15 years. You know what I mean? And he's been an artist just as long. And I've always wanted him to do some art for me. Again, like it took time, just how shit goes. It always works. We talk about things for a while, but finally, he did an art piece for me. I actually picked that door up from like some lady in Hollywood. That shit's heavy as fuck. Actually,
It looks heavy.
It's super heavy. They know it's fucking
The
heavy.
wooden door.
But he painted that for me. But that door is actually, if anybody's familiar with, has been on the website, that door is actually an old logo that we used to have, and he just pretty much just
Painted
freehand that
on the door.
motherfucker up, and was a gift for me for the launch party. And now it's like a pretty much a
staple.
a staple. Yeah, perfect word. A staple at every Rents Do event you'll see. It's in our podcast when you watch the podcast that's coming out soon. Meet the Neighbors podcast. It's gonna be on our website, rentsdofla.com. But it's just a staple. It's just part of the brand. Like you see that shit everywhere you go. So
For a fact.
yeah.
So what are like some of the coolest moments that you've had, while doing this Rents Do thing?
I'm gonna be corny. Coolest moment was meeting my two brothers. You know what I mean? That was a cool ass fucking moment when I met these dudes. Thinking back
so
at it,
cute.
because I didn't really, when I met these two dudes right here, I didn't really think that it would transpire to what it is now. I mean, I was always looking for people to kind of help me. Literally praying, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a really religious guy, but I was literally asking the universe for like, yo, please send me some fucking help and like some like-minded individuals. Not just like-minded individuals, 'cause I've been around like-minded individuals, but people who are like them, soldiers who are really gonna ride for me and put me in my place when I need to be put in my place, but also support me when I need to be supported. And that's really what I got with them. But just like concerts, man, traveling. Like again, I've been on the road with my friend Matt. That wasn't really Rents Do related, but it was dope to be on the road. But when traveling for Ox Wars, traveling with Zali, like I've done a lot of shit with Zali, bro. Like just the relationships I've had. Like I have a lot of brothers and a lot of close friends that I've
Through this music.
I've made through music, and it's really fucking cool. Shout out Zali, shout out Ivan the Hippie because he's one of my close friends that I've met through this shit. I don't really talk to him as much now. Shout out Matt. And I've been a lot of people that I've really been really cool with, like I said. But like I've done some banging ass concerts. Like we did some shit with Young Pinch at a warehouse. Like we sold that bitch the fuck out. You know what I mean? Just really seeing like, I guess the coolest thing at the end of the day is just like seeing what like I thought about when I was 23, 22, even younger than that, and like being like, damn, this shit's kind of really transpiring at a small scale, but it's still transpiring. You know what I
Victory
mean?
is a victory.
So
For a fact.
W's are W's. You know what I mean? And like I've been seeing a lot of W's over the past couple of years as it comes to like my goals and my visions. So like that's probably the coolest thing, really, bro.
Now, I wanted to ask you this. In regards to what do you guys have coming next? Like, what's next for Rents Do 2023? What's like the next, hiatus? Not hiatus, plateau.
Just the shit I spoke on earlier, like again, so like Rents Do is like a creative agency and an entertainment company. So we have the events, we create content, more specifically the podcast, the YouTube channel. We're working on clothes, and we have a lot of other different type of things that we're trying to work on. But really, 2023 is what you can expect is just all that. Like the podcast is about to drop probably in a couple weeks, no later than the new year.
Yes, sir.
That's really going to be one of our main focuses, is really trying to create our own podcast, our own content. We have artist interviews. Our events kind of segue to more artist interviews, more artist content, the clothing, and just like, bro, the artist development really is like all it ties into artist development at the end of the day. And that's really what we're really focused on, is really the artist development. We eventually want to turn this thing into a record label, and just kind of keep cultivating the scene down here, bro. Like I will lie to you if I say that Florida's not the first thing on my mind when I think about Rents Do. You know what I mean? Like we're not just about Florida. Like the site will feature. If anybody's watching this shit, don't be afraid to reach out. We're not just Florida. We will do. If you're in fucking Australia, you could be on rentsdo@florida.com.
For a fact.
Like you could be anywhere. But this shit always comes back home. Like I love where I'm from, and I'm gonna rep where I'm from, and like this shit kind of
people like being down here, honestly.
Yeah, and it kind of made me who I am. So like, it's all about just cultivating, all that stuff I said, but goes back to artist development, and just kind of continuing to cultivate the scene down here and making motherfuckers come down here and knowing that shit's still shaking down here.
Any artist? Oh, go ahead, Chief.
I was just gonna say, with everything we do, just get better and better. Learn, execute, and just get better.
Are there any artists like on your radar currently, like somebody that you haven't worked with that you're like, yo, I need to get them on the show? Like,
Shit, top of my head, I probably.
I want to say this young lady's name is Zaya.
okay, shout out.
She,
Yeah, I know Zaya.
Akeem.
Zaya.
She's
Zaya.
local?
Yeah. She's under I want to say Akeem.
Yeah,
the New Miami.
The New Miami. Yeah,
Under
yeah.
that, underneath that umbrella. I definitely want to get her on the. I like her music. It's dope. She got a song with 12 and 2. That's pretty smooth. So.
Yeah, I played her on Proximity a couple times. Shout out to her.
I would say we found a new artist that actually he came to one of our events. It's a homie named Duke. He's super dope. I was really fucking
Duke.
with his vibe when we saw him perform at the was it Bay 21?
Bay 21.
Yeah, shout out Chef. He was their event at Bay 21. But he was super dope. He's actually gonna be performing at one of our showcases coming up. So
Yes, sir.
I would say him. His shit's really fire. And just all the homies, man. Like I mean, I'm not gonna start naming names, but like I got a lot of homies out here. You know, I know a lot of rappers, man. So shout out to all the homies. If you ever performed at Rents Do, if you fuck with Rents Do, like we've been around for a minute. We've done a lot of fucking shows. I think I'm almost at like a 50. So like,
Damn, 50
like,
shows?
Yeah, I'm like almost at 50 events. So like,
Congratulations,
shout out to all
bro.
the rappers that ever supported me. You know what I mean? I've never had any problems with anybody. Everything's always been love. Everything's always been cool. So like, shout out to y'all because like, I really wouldn't be anything without y'all.
For
you know
a
what I mean?
fact.
So
What's up?
Damn, no, I'm not gonna lie. This has been a banger. Like I feel like we
man.
covered everything. Like I feel like all the questions I had, like we answered organically through conversation.
sure.
And this is why I love to do what I do, man. But this has been. Wait, before we go, is there anything that you want to say to the people? Anything y'all want to get off? Let the people know.
I want to shout out Cash 803.
Yes.
We working with him right now.
yeah, so yeah, I
He's
guess
an
we
artist.
kinda say we kind of got an
Took
artist.
the words out my mouth.
He's out of Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, word?
He performed at
Yeah.
one of our last.
He got stuff out on platforms and shit?
Yes, he does.
Y'all gotta send me some shit.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
We'll do.
For
Hell
sure.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
one of the ones we're working with right now. I got a lot of people I could shout out. Hef, Sunday, my mama, my kids. I love y'all.
Yes, sir.
I got a Grammy. I got an Emmy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Igor.
sir.
Nah, real shit though. Cash 803. Be prepared to see a video. We got Wavy working on one of his joints right now.
Wavy Lord?
Yeah.
Shout out Wavy Lord.
Yeah,
We
got
just
him working
interviewed
on one of
him,
his
too.
one of Cash's videos. So that's expected around the New Year's time to drop. We did a record or two at Soundwave.
At Soundwave.
With Akeem.
Shout out Akeem again.
Just got it mixed back. That's crazy. So yeah, Cash 803 is doing his thing.
Yeah, man. I think we touching all facets with Rest Do at this point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say, just follow us, man. Follow us on social
Yeah.
media. Follow us at Rents to
Rents
FLA.
to FLA.
The website's about to relaunch. Probably sometime in December.
January.
We'll be announcing it soon. Rents2FLA.com. Tap into our podcast, Meet the Neighbors.
Yes.
On the it's gonna be on our website, YouTube channel. Yeah, just fuck with us, man. We probably have a showcase coming up in January. I know for sure Sunday's gonna be on there. Duke's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
And we'll lock in a couple of the artists. But most importantly, thank you to you, bro. Thank you for
Nah,
having
man.
me.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys for
letting
doing
me
what
speak about my platform and shit.
Nah, bro. Thank you guys for doing what y'all do, man. And I just want to let y'all know on behalf of the entire Minds Wide team, man, whatever artists y'all want to promote, whatever y'all got an event coming up, like, we definitely going to push that. We definitely going to let our supporters
Respect.
know, you know what I'm saying? So
Appreciate it.
this is going to be, a continuous relationship that we gonna build. You know what I'm saying?
build a little community
Nah,
out
for
here.
real. Because if you think about it, like us and like people that we talked about during this interview,
Yeah.
are like the foundations when it comes to that Florida media. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
if we stick together, we could blow this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, you saw what happened, 2016, 2017, all that stuff. It's not crazy to think that could happen again.
Exactly.
And I think that nowadays, like, there's even bigger platforms nowadays, like, Trash and shit like that. And so, like, people are doing their thing down here. I mean, it's only about working together. And I know it's crazy to think that everybody's gonna work together, but like, it's still possible to people to cultivate the scene and to get it how it was before.
I agree 1,000%.
For sure, man.
Well, this has been it right here, man. This has really been
Yes, sir.
a great conversation, very in-depth conversation, and it's good to talk to people that are on this side of things as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Sure.
talk to rappers all day, and it's like, you know, certain things we're gonna connect on a different level because we're
Right.
behind the, you know,
Behind
what
the
I'm saying?
scenes.
So I appreciate y'all, man. You already know what
Appreciate you,
time
bro.
it is, man. It's Gabe Avelli. This has been the Florida Vibe Directory, man. Big shout out to my boy Diafica Juice, Young Luke, holding down
Shout out
the
Luke.
motherfucking
Luke
boards.
the GOAT, bro.
Yes, sir.
Luke the GOAT.
But we definitely got to do some shit, man. I'm definitely gonna be at the next event. I'm gonna be
Please,
out there,
brother, please. We
vlogging
appreciate
shit,
it.
man. Y'all
Hell
need,
yeah.
y'all need a hosting. Y'all need
Oh,
whatever y'all
man, you
need
talking
from
now.
Gabe Avelli, Minds Wide, bro. We here in full force, man.
Say
Y'all
no
make sure
more.
y'all run up all the interviews on the motherfucking page,
Yes,
man.
sir.
My spots right down the street too. We like 15 minutes away.
Hollywood all day.
Yeah, man, let's
We
get
outside.
You see it. Go ahead, Luke. We good. Don't worry about it. I couldn't think of nothing to end it good.
This is Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante J-Mon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open. Hey, yo, check it out. This is mainstream.
So it's like you feel me? That's real. That's real.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.